Okay, a #1 bestseller in less than a week. Sounds completely made up, right? But what if I told you there's an actual, repeatable system to do it? Today, we're going to break down author Ambu Rayapan's absolutely incredible claim and the blueprint he used to make it a reality.
Yeah, you heard that right. 5.5 days. We're not talking months, we're not talking years, we are talking days. From a totally blank page to a finished 10,000-word book. But honestly, the timeline isn't even the most unbelievable part. It's how little time he actually spent writing each day.
Get this, he wasn't chained to his desk from dawn till dusk. He wrote his first book in just 2 hours a day, while on vacation. The rest of the time, he was just relaxing, watching movies. So what did this almost laughably minimal effort actually produce? And here's the proof. His book, Kindle Books Money-Making Machine, didn't just sell, it hit #1. And not just in one category on Amazon, but in 2 separate ones, writing skills and sales and selling. This wasn't some lucky break. It was the direct result of a specific, repeatable process.
And this is maybe the most important part of the whole story. Ambu Rayapan wasn't a lifelong professional author. He basically says he'd never written anything before, got bored on vacation, and just decided to give it a shot. And that's what makes his achievement feel suddenly, well, attainable for the rest of us. So how on earth did he do it? Well, it all starts with the idea. But this isn't about sitting around waiting for a lightning bolt of inspiration to strike. Nope. The system kicks off with a really practical way to find a winning idea, one that people are actually out there waiting to buy. He breaks it down into 3 super simple paths. First, your passion. What's that thing you could talk about for hours without getting bored? Second, your expertise. What are you the go-to person for in your friend group? And third, a skill you want to learn. This last one is just brilliant. You can literally write the book as you become an expert, and you save other people all that research time.
Okay, so you've got an idea from one of those 3 buckets. Great. But that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How can you be sure there's a market for it before you spend even 5.5 days writing the thing? This is where the system gets really smart. It takes all the guesswork out of it with some simple math. The rule is this. You go to Amazon, find the top 5 books in your niche, and then you use their sales rank to estimate their daily sales. If, combined, they're selling at least 50 copies a day, bingo. You've got a proven, viable market. No more hoping, just cold, hard data. All right, so you've got your validated idea. Now you plug it into what he calls the writing engine. This is the core process that makes the speed possible. It breaks that huge, scary task of writing a book into 3 simple, totally manageable steps. Pre-writing, writing, and post-writing. Look, the secret here isn't some kind of magic trick. It's about doing these 3 things in the correct order, and, this is key, without letting them bleed into each other. Let's see what that actually looks like. Seriously, the pre-writing phase is where the entire war is won. This is all about preparation. You do your research, then you do this massive brain dump, just to get every single idea you have down on paper without judging it. And then, from that beautiful chaos, you build a clean, structured outline. This blueprint is what lets you write so incredibly fast later on. So, once you actually start writing, the first battle is for the reader's click. Think of your title and subtitle as a 1-2 punch. The title's only job is to grab attention. Then the subtitle swoops in to create interest, promising a specific solution or a benefit. And how do you do that? Well, he has a secret weapon for this, what he calls power words. These are words that tap directly into our emotions and our curiosity. Just look at this list. Words like secret, proven, ultimate, effortless. These aren't just descriptive. They're persuasive little tools that make people need to know more. And then the final step, post-writing, is all about the polish. This is where you edit for clarity and flow, you check for mistakes, and you format the whole thing so it's clean and easy to read. But he really stresses not to get trapped in perfectionism here. Just make it good and move on. So we've got the idea, and we've got the 3-step engine. Now let's put it all together. This is the exact day-by-day blueprint to get you from 0 to a finished book in just 5.5 days. Check this out. Day 1 is for your outline plus the first 1,500 words. Days 2, 3, and 4 are your heavy lifting, 2,000 words each day. Day 5, you wrap up the writing and you start editing, and by noon on day 6, you're done. When you break it down like this, with just 2 hours of focused work a day, it suddenly seems totally achievable, doesn't it? But let's be real for a second. Having a perfect plan is never enough, is it? As anyone who's ever tried to write knows, the schedule, that's the easy part.
The real challenge is all internal. The author calls these hurdles the writer's villains, and they're what truly stop most people from ever finishing.
I mean, just take a look at this list. Does any of this sound a little too familiar? Procrastination, perfectionism, analysis paralysis, and of course, the big one, fear. Fear of failing, fear of looking stupid. He argues that these mental blocks are the real enemy, way more than a blank page ever could be. Getting past these is the final piece of the whole puzzle.
And in the end, it all boils down to this really powerful challenge. The system is there, the blueprint is crystal clear. The only thing separating a bad writer from a good one isn't talent, it's perseverance. So he leaves us with this simple but kind of tough question. What are you going to be?